Hi everybody, and welcome to Traveling with Russell, and welcome to a new video, and welcome to Moscow. Now, on the eve of International Women's Day, I've come to Russia's largest flower market. It's just behind me. We're going to go and check it out together. Hopefully we can make an interesting video and you can see the enormity of flowers that are for sale and being sold ahead of International Women's Day here in Moscow, Russia. Now, I'm actually very close by Rizhskaya metro station, and here's actually the metro map. There's actually two lines that converge here, and also the overland train, which is what I caught. We're just here. Of course, this is more the center of Moscow down here, and then I actually started my journey all the way at the bottom left there at Prelivka, and it's taken about an hour to get here. No problems with public transport. Let's go look at some flowers. I've actually never been to this place before. I know the area of Moscow where we are, but I've never been to this particular rynok or market. Now, there's actually two different ones that are next door to each other. One is the main flower hall or market, and then there's a second one which is slowly becoming a flower market. And I imagine at some point it was actually a traditional rynok with other foods and things available. They actually have a supermarket in the lower ground floor. We're not going to go see a supermarket today. We want to see flowers. And I think as I'm walking down the footpath here, you can see people who've got flowers in their hand. I think almost everybody in Moscow today and perhaps tomorrow or last night are now in the flower buying mode. So we'll actually go into both markets to see what we can find. And I'm also in the hunt for some flowers for my wife. She knows I'm coming here today, and you know, it's a must that I get her some flowers for International Women's Day. Now, before I head on inside, I just want to let you know ahead of time, I have walked around here briefly for about 10 or 15 minutes. I'm not sure how they're gonna take to me holding a camera, so it's either gonna be amazing or it's gonna be a 5-minute video and I'm gonna be on the train going home. So just thought I'd let you know ahead of time. There might be some heads turning, there might be some people staring at me, which is kind of normal sometimes in different markets in Moscow, but this one particularly, obviously, it's quite busy today, so we'll see how people react. Just to give you an idea of how busy this place is leading up to International Women's Day, there's a sign here with the opening hours. So from the 1st to the 8th of March, it's open 24 hours a day. Now, tell me in the world where there's a 24-hour flower shop or flower shopping center. I'm very curious. Just the amount of people that are coming and going from the metro station right in front of us, and then people going to the car parks and to the train. You can see that this is really the serious shopping day for flowers in Russia. Walking on inside the first market here. Now, this was originally a general rynok or market that had a lot of other things beside flowers. And then essentially over the years, this has become solely a flower shopping center or flower market. Now, this is the first of two halls that I'm going to go in. So to give you an idea of how big this is in Russia and perhaps in other countries in the world, let me know in the comments, do you celebrate International Women's Day? And is it a big deal like it is here in Russia? Of course, we're going to see a lot of flowers and a lot of different types of flowers. I'm definitely no expert in the ones they've got for sale. So if you notice any particular type, let me know in the comments of the different types of flowers they've got for sale. Now, this market I'm in here first is a little bit quieter and a little bit more subdued than the one next door. You can see though just how many they have, and then the whole length of the market here is only flower shops. Now, you can come here any day of the year. It doesn't matter, you know, when you come here to buy flowers. But Of course, leading up to International Women's Day, naturally, it's going to be a little bit busier. There's going to be more people, and there's going to be more variety of flowers available. And what's interesting too for me is to see the mix of people that are here shopping. So it's not just men buying for ladies, you know, which is what I would perceive as traditional. People buy flowers to give to each other. So for instance, my wife has bought flowers to give to her friends, and it's something that's very normal here in Russia for this day. See balloons. Now, we want to get a bit closer to some of the flower stands, and I thought I'd come through the quieter one first and then go to the busier one second. There seems to be a bit of a mix between the different flowers they're offering for the next couple of days. So there's a big mixture of roses and then tulips. And you'll see in the one just here, there is just endless amounts of tulips available. Now these glass frames around the shop is basically to create refrigeration and basically prolong the life of the flowers. So it's not just that you can't go inside. It's a nice easy way to do window shopping, and then you go in and actually grab the one that you like. And quite a lot of them do have prices on them, but for me, I just want to show you the selection. So there's all sorts of different stands set up selling the flowers. There's these smaller ones that are essentially small businesses that are doing flower reselling. And then there's actually flower stands. Kate and Eva right here, and I imagine that's Kate and Eva behind the table doing all the flower arranging and making the flowers, and then they actually will make up flower bouquets, which is really nice. So the ladies here at this stand just told me there's a very rare version of tulip here that's got curly petals, and this is not a common type of tulip in Russia. Has anyone seen one like this before? Okay, so I'm actually here with one of the florists. Now,
my name is Leora.
Leora, now you're from Moscow,
yes,
and you work at the flower shop right behind. Now, today is the night before, or the day before International Women's Day.
And you already see there is no place even to stand. We need to, people just walk through us and like this.
And
we called it like fish in a ban.
Okay.
in a ban.
Right. Yeah. And then today is the busiest day of the year, would you say?
Yes, we don't have any free seconds. I eat just here where I stand, and then I need to get flowers, get ready, and
wow,
someone needs to take it off.
And I think you're the only English-speaking person in this whole flower market today. So
I think so, because they're mostly not Russian and they don't learn English at school.
No worries.
I was learning, so I can speak.
And how is your
freely.
And how is your mood today? Let me know, how is your mood?
Oh, I'm so nervous. Honestly,
not to be on camera, but selling flowers. You're nervous because of the eve of Women's Day and
nervous
before big holidays.
I'm trying to make people happy when they're buying flowers, but sometimes it's difficult. People like, oh, that's not fresh flowers.
Oh, understand.
Oh, that's not good. Oh, that's cheap. That's too high price. And you like.
So you want to make everybody happy?
Yes, I'm such kind of person that I'm care about it, and I'm always nervous when somebody don't like what I do. It's mean for me what I do, and I want him to be happy, and he's like, oh, I will go back. I will go there.
Thank you so much, Lenora. Thank you for being on camera, and I hope everybody who's watching can say hello to Lenora in the comments. And if you're in the Rizhsky Rynok right here, come and see her at the stand, and I'm sure her happy smiling face will let her know who she is. Thanks very much, so much.
Oh, thank you.
So I would say between this market and next door, there has to be around about 500 different flower sellers and different markets to different degrees of how much they have. So some of them are much smaller where they've just got a little stand, and then some have, you know, the whole florist right here doing the arrangements literally, and as quick as they're getting the flowers in, they're selling them. Again, we can see another one of the enclosed ones. There's people inside this one, so people can literally go in and pick the one they like. And there is a lot of people here. It may not seem like it on camera, but there really is. So as I'm walking around, it's almost like I'm trying to dodge all the different people, and there's definitely a sense of urgency to all the shoppers that are coming today, because they want to find the nicest flowers and the nicest arrangement and get home and get out of here as quick as possible, because slowly through the next few hours until tomorrow morning, it's just going to get busier and busier here. There's almost a production line of ladies doing the flower arranging and making up the different bouquets, and it's just fascinating to come here. I've never been here before, so to come here for the first time. All the years I've lived in Moscow, and I've not come to this flower market, and it was only appropriate that I come ahead of International Women's Day and show all the beautiful flowers and all the beautiful ladies as well, of course. It's really interesting as I go from stand to stand and see the amount of people who are just a bit overwhelmed with the choices of flowers and how many there is to pick from, and everyone's looking for something unique, maybe that the next stand doesn't have. And you know, all the people who need to buy something and have to buy something while they're here, and just to try to decide from all the choices. It's a lot, even for me. I'm not going to be possibly able to decide which one to buy. As I head up to the second level, I just want to pay homage to Tucker Carlson and his shock and amazement when he saw a travelator in the shopping center when he went to go to the supermarket. And they have one here in this flower market. So Tucker, if you're watching, there's more than just a few of these in Russia. Upstairs, they've actually got a couple more bigger standalone shops. And again, they've got the refrigerated area where you can walk in and grab the flowers. Then you come outside here and pay. And all we're seeing is just the men making sure that their ladies get some nice flowers ahead of International Women's Day. I think I want to walk inside this one right here, just because it's not as busy and there's not as many people. Now again, these are refrigerated rooms, or cool rooms, so it prolongs the life of the flowers. And then there is some pricing on some of them, and then others there aren't. But is there a price to pay to keep your lady happy or your partner happy coming up after tomorrow? I think it doesn't really matter for most of the men. They just need to buy some flowers and, you know, make sure their other half is happy. Now, I'm sure flower shops are not unique to Russia. Absolutely not. But the seriousness of International Women's Day in Russia, it's essentially a holiday in Russia, and it creates a long weekend as well in March. And then even the day before, some people get let off work early so they can make sure that they've done their flower shopping, got some chocolates, maybe some champagne ahead of the very well-known holiday. Walking around a little bit further on this second level, they have this very large, more like a nursery, I would call it, than a flower shop. It's actually quite big. I wasn't expecting this. Walking upstairs, you can see lots of people who bought flowers. They're wrapping them up. Most people would go home here by train or metro, so a lot of people just making sure that it's easy to carry everything home. So I was expecting flowers up here, and it's more like a jungle with trees and plants. And I think a lot of people like to buy these different flowers to give as well as gifts. And there's so many choices. It's hard to decide what to buy. Perhaps this store also sells a lot of the material for repackaging all the flowers. They have here all of the ribbons and the tissue that you can wrap the flowers in, so it's probably something a little bit more than just a regular florist or flower shop. They've even got cactus in here. I don't think I've seen cactus in Russia until now. They also have more cool rooms with different flowers, and I think a lot of these are tulips or different types of flowers. I'm not too sure. The video is basically growing as I'm walking around and discovering parts of this shopping center I hadn't seen previously. Back downstairs on this lower level, the florists and the shops continue. And check this out, they've even got a little cafe here. If you're tired of flower shopping, you can come and get yourself a sandwich or a cake and relax in between choosing flowers. Let's go into this other section here again, where there's, again, just thousands of flower arrangements. It's really just staggering how many choices there are, and I mean how many people are here. And this is the quieter building. Wait till we go next door, and then you're just going to be shocked by how much there are. So beautiful. All these different arrangements. And there's just rooms after rooms of flowers available. This is supermarket size. Whenever I'm making videos at supermarkets, people always tell me there's nobody shopping, there's nobody buying anything. And you come in here a day before International Women's Day and there's a line to buy flowers. And just the amount of people coming and going is just hectic. As I walk between the two different markets, it's something that's really quite unique coming to a flower market here. And it's definitely something that's different from what I've done on the channel before, going to shops and supermarkets. And just to come to a place that's dedicated to flowers, and especially so close to International Women's Day, I really hope you're finding this video interesting. Okay, so let's try and walk in for a couple of minutes. Now, this gentleman ahead of me here has given me a little bit of poetic license just to walk around, and unfortunately it's looking like I'm gonna follow him, but just look at the choices. I need to keep up with him so that we don't get trapped in here. How many people are here, how amazing it is. Здравствуйте. Hello. And just the enormity of this building. Rizhsky Rynok, or probably, I think, the most famous flower market in all of Russia.
Hello.
And lots of happy people. And just look at the amount of flowers. Now, hopefully we can do one lap around and get in and out. And just, so this Rynok style shop is very common in all of Russia, and the market style shop that it is, and we'll just but this is very unique because it's only flowers. And my gosh, now I'm getting a little bit told to walk a little bit quicker, which I understand. Now, I'm not focusing the video on specifically people here, but have a look as we walk around. Wow. Now I hope this comes out as good as it looks as I'm walking. Now this is going to be a little bit unedited, and just show, have a look at these bunches of flowers. Come on, this is on another scale. Now tell me, in the world, if you're watching, where they have a flower market like this. Maybe somewhere in Europe, maybe somewhere in Asia. Now of course, International Women's Day is literally after today or tomorrow. So you're getting a bit of a behind the scenes look at the seriousness of International Women's Day in Russia and the amount of people here. Now, I would normally film this a little bit slower and a little bit more methodically, but I'm literally getting told to walk in and walk out, and I'll explain a little bit more once I get back outside. Oh, nice doggy right there. But just have a look. It's even impossible to walk because of the amount of people. Oh, now it's freed up a little bit. And just look at all of the tulips right here and all the different colors and types. And then over here, roses. Wow. Come on, this is amazing. И Australia.
Australia?
Да.
Sydney?
Perth.
Perth.
Perth Glory.
I am Azerbaijan.
Oh,
Great.
good to meet you. Oh, Pinilai. Wow. Okay. And of course, we could walk around a lot more of this market, but we get at least a couple of minutes worth of coming in here. Let me get back out the door and I'll just talk you through what happened, and it'll make a little bit more sense. And wow, that was just hectic. Just to give you a little bit of context of what happened there. So basically, this is the only entrance and exit of this place. I'm sure there's a truck entrance at the back, but this is where all the public come in and out of this market. And I originally walked in to try to film, and there was a few challenges, mostly because of these two signs right here. Now, in all of Russia, essentially it's allowed to film anywhere in public, and it's not a problem to come and film in any place, public or not. And then here, there is a very big no filming policy. I'm not sure what they're hiding here. Of course, just look at the amount of people coming in and out of here right now. So what actually happened was, one of the security guards, when I was initially walking in before the last few minutes, they essentially asked me to leave very politely. And then I happened to see a press photographer here filming or shooting from one of the Russian newspapers. And he spoke English. I explained to him what was going on, and then he had someone come over to help him walk inside and be escorted inside. And then I mentioned to the guard, or the guy that's at the door here, that I have a YouTube channel. I showed him my videos of Pitorichka and all the different supermarkets, and he's like, okay, 2 minutes. So I got to do that one lap around, which you saw. It's considerably bigger than what I just showed you, and it was obviously quite hard to film because the gentleman was literally just pushing me along to get in and out. But I think you get an idea of how hectic that flower market is behind us here, and I hope it's giving you a good sense of what it's like the day before International Women's Day here in Russia. So if there is anybody watching who's from Russia or perhaps from Moscow, can you please let me know what the secrecy is around this particular market or rynok versus all the others that are in Russia, and my inability to be able to walk in and film. For me, it's a flower market. They pretty much are selling flowers. They had some fruits and things like that, but someone needs to just explain to me in the comments why they're so secretive about making videos inside. I think I'm gonna have to go into the supermarket and get myself a drink and calm down for a minute or two, and perhaps see if we can find any more flowers that we can show before I come to the end of the video. I wanted this to be a little bit longer and, you know, more interesting, showing the main Rizhsky Rynok in front of us here. But I literally had a couple of minutes to film. I did try to contact the administration of this building during the week and last week, and multiple times they said that I can't make a video. But luckily, one guard or one security that was here was very nice about it all. I've come back into the original market here because I need to find myself something for my wife. Everybody wants to be on video today, and I better just have a quick walk around and see what I can find of all these different stalls. I think I might end up having to go for the traditional tulips. Now, roses, of course, are good for any time of the year. So let me see if I can find something. Here's the production line of flower arranging again, and all these ladies literally working overtime today. So I'm gonna have to find something amongst all of these different stalls. This part is much easier to walk around and find something, even though there's lines forming now in each of the little shops, and it's still very hectic in here. But it's just a matter of deciding now what I like and what I think, or I hope my wife likes, because there's a lot to choose from. This is the worst thing for the guys when they're coming on International Women's Day. The men are just a bit confused what they should choose from. And there's just room after room of flower arrangements, which is the one that, you know, your partner, lady friend, wife, girlfriend is really gonna love after seeing so many. You can see again, lots of people trying to find that perfect bouquet of flowers. Okay, so I've come to the end of the video. I hope this was enjoyable. I was hoping to film quite a bit more inside the Rizhsky Rynok, and of course it wasn't quite so possible. I was hoping I could convince the guy to let me film a little bit longer, but I had literally 2 minutes to walk in and walk out, as you've seen. And I'm now over in the original store that we started out at, and I've got myself a Dobra Cola just to calm my energy levels down a little bit. And I was almost not even going to complete the video. I thought if I couldn't film in the main market, then it wouldn't really make sense about coming to here and then going there and not being able to film. So I hope it's come out okay. Thanks everybody for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you like the video. Post a comment, let me know what you think. Have you heard of this market in Moscow before? Is International Women's Day such a big thing in the country you're from? Maybe let me know where you're from, and do they celebrate it like they do here in Russia, and the enormity of what it is here. And I'm just showing a small slice of what goes into International Women's Day. Of course, you can buy flowers anywhere in Russia today, leading up to tomorrow, so it's not a problem. But I had to come to the largest flower market in all of Russia just to show you the sense of urgency and the feeling it was, what it was like inside. I mean, people here have been amazing, really and truly. It's just the security guard at the door at the other building that was a little bit of a challenge, but eventually, once he saw my Pitorichka videos, he came around a little bit. So thanks everybody. If you want to follow me on Telegram, there's a link coming up right now to my Telegram channel. If you want to see an older video on the channel, there's a link coming up to another video that you can watch here on the channel right now. Thanks for coming traveling with Russell. I'm a little bit all over the place today with the making of this video, so thanks everybody. I'm off on another adventure. Bye.